For me, this is really important, but I totally understand that people that are driven by business and money can go and set up any idea or solve any problem in any field successfully. But I really believe that if the problem you're solving is personal, you will have better insights when building the solution, but also perform better in tough times, because there will be tough times, that's for sure. Hello everybody, and welcome to this session where we're gonna define what a great problem is and talk a little bit on how you could generate startup ideas. My name is Johan Crafoord. I'm one of the members in the startup community here at Hetch in Helsingborg. I have some experience in running startups, tech projects, and now startup communities. Often when I talk with people that comes to Hetch about their ideas, I want to know what they are building, why they are building this, and who the user is for this product. So I was thinking that I will do the exactly same thing here. So what is this? This is a session about how to define a great problem to solve with tech products. How could you tweak your problem to put yourself in a better position to succeed? The second part is about ideas. For me, when I stand in the shower or driving in my car, I often start popping up with some crazy, funny ideas. Not the best one, but still, it's ideas. And when we're talking about generating ideas, that's basically just some hands-on pro tip on how you could have a process for generating great ideas. Why are we having this session? This is an attempt to boost your problems, to make them bigger and make them better. Because when it comes to problems, size actually matters. I want people to actually believe that they can change and impact the world with their product. I want you to think globally, because tech products is awesome in just that, going global. You often hear that you should start small and see if it works out and if you can find some clients around you. But if you want to increase your chances to succeed, you should maybe think globally from the start. I say maybe. If you think about it, the biggest problem for many startups is to find their first clients. Is it not easier to do that if you have the whole world as your market instead of just your city, your region, or your country? Of course, it depends on what kind of product you have and what your mission is, personally. But I want that mindset to be the starting point for more people and more founders. Who is this session for? Think bigger. Yeah, that worked. This session is great for early founders and people with ideas so they can stretch their idea and the problem they solve. I feel that many problems people would like to solve today could have so much more potential if you just tweak them a little bit. It's great for investors to join this session, to have a framework around the idea they are listening into or analyzing. And it's also great for people working with people that actually do stuff, like teachers, mentors, etc. I would like this session to be the trigger to discuss how we can set the mindset to go bigger. And this mishmash of things that I will talk about today is stuff I experienced, talk with others about in the community, and etc. So thank you everyone for contributing to this session. YC have some awesome talks about this that I really can recommend. We have 30 minutes, but I think it will be faster than that. Everybody hates long session, I know that, me too. So I will keep it short and clean. Cool, so we'll start with how to define a great problem. I have a checklist that I think about when I listen into new ideas. There is a few things we could think about here. Different problems is great for different people. You don't need all of these things that we talk about here to have a great problem in front of you. But if you could nail some of them, then you put yourself in a better position. And these numbers are on a global scale because I think we should move away from this local thought when it comes to business in tech. I want you to go big and go global. I will go through these pretty quick because I hate long boring talks, so let's do it. Here we have some of the things we will talk about, and the first thing we will talk about is personal. For me, this is really important, but I totally understand that people that are driven by business and money can go and set up any idea or solve any problem in any field successfully. But I really believe that if the problem you're solving is personal, you will have better insights when building the solution, but also perform better in tough times, because there will be tough times, that's for sure. You can ask anyone in here, I promise you. Demand is the second one. You will put yourself in a so much better position if your problem has a totally addressable market of 1 million users. Now many of you think like, oh my god, panic, 1 million is so many people. But if you look at this on a global scale, it's not that much. I guess like there is maybe 10 to 50 million people collecting stamps, for example. How insane is that? So go and disrupt stamp business. You can do that. That is great. The third one is growing. And we can call this headwind. If you find a problem that is estimated to grow 100% in the next 4 years, then we are definitely in headwind. You will have easier to find opportunities, and there will also pop up a lot of new potential clients that today doesn't have a solution, and maybe they can use yours. Okay, right here, right now, timing. This is quite tricky, I know that, because it's really hard. We don't know how the future looks like. But just imagine starting an airline business 50 months ago compared to start a remote tool for business kind of thing 50 months ago before the pandemic. That is an extreme, but yeah. But try to think about why is it a great time to start it right now. Macro thinking, try to find a big wave to surf on. And now to the user, pain. And yeah, I've been thinking about this one. You have different kind of products. You have nice-have products and must-have products, and we could have a whole session around that. And I'm a big fan of nice-have because it's easy, easier. But of course, it's awesome if you can find problems, people with problems that are a huge pain for them. And my pro tip here is that you measure pain in 2 different ways. Emotions and dollars. Or. Emotions and or dollars. Emotion is strong in some cases, maybe in consumer products. More emotions in those. And dollar is really strong when you talk about business to business. It's often about money. The next one is frequency, and kind of obvious, but still, I think it's worth talking about it. For me, it's very important. I've experienced products that you use a lot and products that you don't use that often. The general rule here is if the user experience this problem more often, it's easier to create the product that solves the problem. You get more opportunities to tweak your product, talk to the client. It happens more often, then it gets easier. But it's not impossible if you only meet the user once a year. You just look at Airbnb. You probably go on a trip once or twice a year, and they are doing it pretty well, I would say. You have to tweak your product depending on how much your interaction is with the user. If you meet them once a year, then tweak the communication and the user journey towards that. Super important, I think. The last one is legal. And legal is, I can't say it's boring. But this is binary, I would say. There is a change or there isn't a change. So when there is a change in legal, there is often an opportunity. So, for example, in fintech, you have a couple of examples. Maybe you know of Tink, the app that started, riding on this open banking opportunity. That was a big change in banking. So this is binary. Okay, cool. So here we have a couple of things that you could have in mind.
So yes, unfortunately the mic died during this part of the talk, but if you want to know more about what he said during this part, please reach out to this email.
Your skills or your team, if you're awesome in something, or your team is awesome in something, then start discussing what your space looks like, what is wrong today, how will it look in the future, and how could your skills boost things in this. Map it out and start to think disruptive thoughts. Where do you and your team have an unfair advantage in this space? Just think about it. Just look at yourself. Talk about it. Often in energy, medtech, data and AI, you have these really, really cool people that knows a lot. The next one is your everyday problems. So listen in to people around you, or maybe you sometimes say like, I wish you could blah 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 blah. This is often everyday great problems to solve. Some example of this are Boy and Foodora. I mean, I wish someone could build an app so they could just bring me food here in 10 minutes. Okay, I will fix it for you. I started Foodora. Cool. So listen in to those easy everyday problems things. You can actually build huge companies around these. Have a look at booming companies. Booming companies will have to focus on different things, and other things they will just have to leave because they must grow and go fast and focus. This creates opportunities for others. Solve their problems and you might have a business up and running pretty fast. Examples here are things like face recognition for Facebook a couple of years ago, credit debt for Klarna. They just like, we must grow, we don't care about credit debt right now, go in and solve it. Maybe safe ride for Uber, I don't know, could be one. You could also steal a vertical from big companies. And here we have, on the right here we have Typeform, which is pretty much an awesome hot version of Google Forms. Google Trends can tell us about changing consumer habits. I have a YouTube link around this. If you want that, just contact me afterwards and I will give it to you. It's like a 3-minute video around this. But this is super. Just use Google Trend and Analytics and see what is happening in the world. Yeah, the YouTube link is right here. If anyone, I know you can't click it, of course, but if you want it, just grab me. Cool. Crowdsource problem. This is really fun. I have done this a couple of times. This is totally magic. Does anyone know how to do this? Crowdsource problem.
No.
No. Talk to people. Insane. Oh my god, we got it. Talk with like citizens, talk with community, talk with people that are in a specific group. People renting offices, people in a football players, etc., etc. Can you send them like a smart survey, do that and just collect information? Super easy way to get started. If you just want to start a startup, just go out and talk to people. And this one, maybe for people in tech, a lot of you end up as consultants. If you're in a consultancy firm in tech, you often create products or features for other companies or people. And if you find that something that like that, if it works, then tweak it. and try to scale it. If you have built this for one company, maybe you have 10 million more companies in the world that could actually use this product. Then do it, of course. So, create something and then scale it to others. Perfect. Great. I have one last one. Moonshots. Disrupt industries. And this one is of course the most complex and the biggest challenge, but of course that's always the funniest one as well. So look for industries that are broken. One way to do this is like to mix different strange things into a new market, or make a existing market to a gig market economy. That is two different ways to do it. And two examples here is an iPad on wheels. That's pretty much Tesla. And you also have Uber, that basically made everyone a taxi driver, and totally disrupted that industry. Cool. That's it from me. Now I want you to go and build something. And if you have an idea, or if you don't have an idea, we have open desk now, 1 to 3. Me, Aliyah, are here to support you and talk to you. Can help you generate ideas. Yeah, just come and talk to us. In 2 weeks, we will have a limited edition session where 10 people will come here and create a product ID in 2 hours. We have done it a couple of times. It's a really fun session. We will actually talk about what you do in your morning routine, like what do you do when you eat breakfast, and then we will come up with some crazy tech ideas from that. If you have any questions, you can reach me at crafoord@hetch.se. Please follow us at Instagram and LinkedIn. And yeah, thanks for today. If you have any question, just shout out.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Yes.
Thanks for joining very much. Very, very fun, and see you again.
Bye. Nice. Just det. Har vi som sitter här som ändå har lyssnat lite några funderingar eller tankar? Alltså jag tänker vi som sitter här, vi är ju det här communityt, vi sitter dag in dag ut med våra startups. Alltså hur mår ni, tänkte jag säga, när ni sitter med problem? Alltså saker, utmaningar, när ni sitter fast. Jag vill gärna höra era reflektioner. Hur gör ni när ni fastnar? Hur gör ni när ni stöter på en utmaning? Tänk högt.
Prata med folk som kan ge lite andra vinklar på det. För man kan inte lösa allt själv. Man är inte bäst på allt själv. Så även om man inte har all kunskap inom det området så får man se till att hämta den kunskapen från andra.
Men bra som helst. Tack! Tusen tack allihopa!